Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play of Airlinesim. My name is Alfapiomega, and today I'm going to speak about an airline called Peruvian Sky, which we are going to follow. But we're not only going to follow Peruvian Sky, we're also going to follow an airline called Peru International. Why and how, I'm going to explain now. I have a friend who is a Let's Player as well. His name is Aquila. He has been trying to make me play with him for quite some time. That is actually a thing that I always wanted to do, but due to my very busy schedule, I was barely able to speak to him, let alone do a Let's Play with him. However, I realized that maybe we could do something like Airlinesim, where we could get two airlines together and start cooperating, because that could work. We have free time on different days. We have free time in our own time when the other one is busy. And this way we could be able to cooperate. So it was only a matter of thing to decide how are we going to do this. Long time before I even started recording Airlinesim, I had another friend who we had an airline together. We created it in Spain, and while I was playing the domestic airline, he was playing the international one. It failed due to me being extremely busy. I would like to use this moment to apologize for it. I completely dropped out because I had the last year of my bachelor degree then, and I just couldn't devote any time to it. And he sort of, I guess, got angry with me because, it was our project and I barely devoted any time to it. So I would like to say sorry on one side, and on the other one, I took the idea from there and we decided to do it with Aquila in a format of co-let's play, where we each follow our airline with the look on the other guy's airline. I'm sorry I'm spending a lot of time on speaking this because it's a bit I would say redundant, but on the other hand you will see how this works and you will get an idea how to best follow this let's play. So we searched with Aquila for quite some time on the server Riem. Again, that was my idea because I always wanted to try it. Riem is actually the hardest server Airlinesim is currently hosting because it has reduced traffic. We searched for a number of hours. We listed a number of places where we would like to fly, and then we decided that we're gonna try Peru, while Aquila will keep the international flights, and I will focus on the domestic market. Peru actually has a big domestic market. I was surprised to learn that. I thought it would be way smaller, but it's decent, Lima is an above average sized airport, 7 bars in passengers, 5 bars in cargo. And there's a number of 4-bar airports there that you can fly to as a domestic operator. So I started by analyzing the situation here and working my way from the bottom. Well, Aquila's Let's Play, by the way, you can find the link in the description if you want to check it. It's in English, so it will give you a bit of a different outlook on the situation. While Aquila is focusing on the international market, and his biggest challenge is to find the demand, my biggest challenge is something else. When we decided to play in Peru, we had one little thing to deal with, and that is that there is already an airline there. It's not a big one, but it's an established one called Air Peru. Air Peru is also a listed member on the stock market, so he has a ton of money. And because of that, he already has 13 aircraft, 6 of which are a brand new 737s with the scimitars, and 3-8 400s, which are also almost brand new. He also uses a number of LETs for the smaller destinations. So overall, he has the domestic market covered, and he's flying to a number of medium haul destinations too. So while Aquila can focus on the expansion to abroad and, look for the destinations that he could fly to, my biggest challenge is to basically cut off and destroy Air Peru from the inside. Now, as Air Peru has most of the destinations covered, he's even flying, from smaller cities. My biggest concern was if I will be able to do this. And boy, is that so far very easy. I went analytical on this. Air Peru is using the 737s, which are one of the more efficient aircraft. How can I beat him? Well, I listed the requirements to the biggest efficiency I could get, and I got two possible choices for my aircraft. Either it's going to be a Bombardier C-Series 300 and 100, which is one of the most efficient aircraft I have ever seen. I'm not kidding. These are so efficient, I actually think there might be a bug in the game. Or I'm going to go with an Airbus 321, which is less efficient but has a huge amount of seats compared to its size. So in the end, it's also very efficient. I went with the C-Series 300. I was able to purchase 4 of them, furbish them, and put them on the route with about 150,000 left in my bank, and I was praying that it would work. However, when I was scheduling the flights, I found out something incredibly funny, and on the other hand, very, very reasonable. You know how I always said when I was playing, for example, Al Jazeera or other airlines, that domestic market is something that really can earn you a big buck? Well, it works in Peru the same way. When you look for example, I'm gonna go with flight number, the inventory, and I'm gonna show you, for example, flights from Lima to, say, Cusco. These are my flights. You can see that they are all fully booked days ahead. But these are no longer my flights, and that's because Air Peru is actually, charging so much for those flights that he dropped his rating to 35. I'm not kidding. I could fly there with the least effective aircraft I can imagine. And if I just, I actually went from about $100 to 120, and I think I'm going to go to 125 soon. Yeah, this is here. And I'm still way better than him. Cusco is actually a bad example for this due to the fact that there is a huge market for both of us. I'll have to get another aircraft. But let's look, for example, to Iquitos, where I think you will see it a bit better. Yeah, so Iquitos. These are my flights. I'm flying with 130 Airlinesim dollars per flight, and I'm getting a rating of 80. And his flights are here. He's flying... Oh, that's actually... I'm going to show you something. His direct flights are here. He's charging 189 Airlinesim dollars, and his rating for that flight is 12. He actually went so overboard with the prices that his rating dropped to a bare minimum. It's actually so expensive that it's cheaper or more comfortable for people to go connecting to make this work. You can see it, for example, here. So people are flying from Lima to Guayaquil, and from Guayaquil to Iquitos. And that one has more rating than his direct flights. So actually stealing his passengers from him is so easy for me that I'm shocked. And by this time, I'm pretty sure that he is getting almost minimal amount of passengers, which is undercutting his business severely because he's now down here while there's all these flights above him. I want to get another Bombardier C-Series 100 to start flying to these destinations where I already have a full aircraft. So just so that I will scrape the last remaining amount of passengers from him. So basically, I threw a glove to him, and so far, as you can see, he has been on for a couple of times. And and he hasn't done anything at all to make this work. I'm gonna show you that I'm not kidding. Air Peru Toby. Yeah, he's been here yesterday and he just didn't do anything. His airlines is still marked AAA, but as I keep growing, I'm gonna steal more and more feed from him because, yeah, I understand his logic. He was trying to get as much money from the airline as possible in short time, but he's making it super easy for me as a competition to steal away from him, which I'm doing now. All of my flights are doing extremely well. You can see it here. Iquitos again is, completed full. Juliaca, I have full flights. Piura, full flights. Trujillo, full flights. And I'm not flying to these smaller airports, which I'm gonna do with the Canadair C Series 100. I always say Canadair regional jet because I'm so used to it. So he's, for example, flying to Puerto Maldonado 2 times per day, one with LET and once with the 737. So I'm gonna fly there with a C Series 100. And steal that too. Eventually, I'm undermining him from the bottom, while I'm pretty sure his medium-haul aircraft, from what I saw at Aquila's Let's Play, you can check it again, it's in the description, he's not probably making a ton of money from the international flights. So I'm hoping that by cooperating and focusing on the market and tweaking the prices and making sure that he doesn't get his passengers, I can bankrupt this company. I'm sorry, on one side I'm sorry that Toby is gonna go, but that's just how it works. And Toby is not doing anything at all to actually fight us back. So I'm thinking that he deserves this on one side. No, it's evil. I know. We had to choose a place, and there is very limited amount of places that interested us. So I have a bit of a moral problem with ganging up on Toby. On the other hand, I checked the rules, and I even contacted Airlinesim developers if this is not something they would not like us to do. And as far as rules are concerned, we're not doing anything illegal. So Toby can start anywhere else, and he can enjoy it there. But Peru is gonna be ours soon. He's not gonna be here for quite some time longer. So if Toby doesn't do anything, I'm gonna snatch the entire domestic market, which should bankrupt him in a couple of weeks. I am also, this is funny because I'm looking at this from a different perspective. The REM market is slowly increasing, and at this point I would like it to decrease because I'd like Toby to get nothing and me snatching all of his passengers. So I'm hoping that it's not gonna grow much bigger or much faster, because then I would have a hard time of fighting him. But on the other hand, if it increases, that's good for Aquila. So he can fly to more destinations. We earned about 1,419,000, and we have about 55% margin at this point. But I have to say we haven't paid for anything yet. We have about 1.1 million in payments to do. I'm paying about 230,000 per aircraft because they're all brand new. They're all, they're super new, super well furnished. Everything is fine, and I'm doing a good job at even the cabin configuration and service profiles. So I have all the grounds covered. I'm thinking that we might not end in a big profit the first week, but as I increase the prices now and I'm monitoring it and I know what I'm dealing with, I think next week we could do about 500,000 in profit. We'll see. The next Canadair C Series will be 100 one, as I said before, which is slightly smaller. It's not much smaller, it's just, slightly smaller. It has 133 seats. And that one, if I order it, will cost me, again, almost 2 million. So I'll need to save a bit of money for that. I was considering getting a smaller aircraft to start battling his LETs, but I'm not entirely sure. I would probably need something like Yeah, well, either Canada or regional jet, which would be good. On the other hand, those are expensive too. The 700, I don't think... Actually, that's the old one. I would take the next generation one. This one... Yeah, this one costs like 1.4 million. So I can go with the C series. You know, I have not a problem with waiting a bit longer. That's the problem with Riem. There are no used aircraft. But in this case, I wouldn't want to use them anyway because, you know, I'm trying to battle someone, so I need a maximum performance. So with that said, what is the plan for the future? Well, I mentioned that already in a way. There's a number of destinations where I can increase actually the amount of flights that I'm doing there. For example, Cusco is you can see that it's completely full. I could fit in another C series flight, like 2 or 3 there, definitely. I'd like to increase my presence at other places too. So that's the thing. I'd like to start flying to these smaller airports, which have 2 or 3 bars, where Air Peru has a free reign for now, which is maybe what's holding him up still. I need to cut down those, because if he's losing a lot of money on one side, but making a lot of money on the other hand, he can, you know, still hold for quite some time. And this is bad for me, but also for Peru International, because Aquila, you know, basically Aquila needs to find a way how to play with this competitor, and I need to find a way how to undermine this competitor so Aquila can win in the end. Once this fight over domestic market is done, I'm pretty much done, you know. So then what I'll do, I'll probably drop the prices significantly to generate enough feed for Aquila so that this international company can gather a lot, because if you check his video that I mentioned this in the description, you will notice that he's not getting any feed from me. This is due to the fact that A, we have a competitor, B, the prices are quite high on my side, so I'll need to think about how far I can go with the price warfare on Air Peru, because the bigger I grow, the faster I grow, the more money I generate, but the less I can support Aquila. But the faster Air Peru will collapse. So, you know, I need to find a middle ground. So once that is done, I will start expanding to the smaller airports, and I'll start purchasing probably my aircraft so that I can, you know, pay less for that. And I might even start investing on the stock market. Maybe in Aquila's airline, I could do that. And, you know, we'll see. We made a deal, actually, that we made all these as subsidiaries so that we could potentially, if one of us, you know, has very little time and loses the interest in the Let's Play, we can buy out the other one and just have them both as our own so that we can continue. We'll see how that goes. You know, I'm happy with my my sheet. You can see my load factor is 92%. We have a total revenue of 1,401,000. Revenue per passenger is $132. The only thing I'm sorry about is that we have no cargo, but we decided with Aquila to focus on that later on as he gets different kinds of aircraft. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this first episode of Peruvian Sky. I hope this will continue. It's an interesting project. I wanted to play on Riem for quite some time now, and I'm very sorry that I didn't start an airline in Riem when I was starting PNLL. But on the other hand, there is a big airline in Poland here, so that's why I didn't choose it. But I always wanted to play in Riem. I think that's the next big step I'll have to do, is to migrate to Riem at one point. But I'm having fun with PNLL now, and I'm having fun with Peruvian Sky at this point, so yeah, I hope you will have fun too, and I hope you will join me for the next episode, which is going to come sometime in the future. So till then, you guys, take care.